Astro, Squirrel here, long time no see. I thought it was time to come back with you on video. There's been a lot going on the last couple of months, and if you follow my Facebook posts, I try to put down bits and pieces, but there's no question what's going on in the world is huge. Ultimately, that means what's going on inside of you is huge, because it may all appear out there, but that's not quite how it works when you live in the matrix. So I just wanted to do a quick rundown. A good friend I was speaking with this morning sort of asked what was going on with the energies in the last week. And a brief summary: March, Mercury retrograde, there was a lot sort of underground in March. In the beginning of April, we started to come out of it when the planets were making shifts, the big players. Uranus moved into Taurus. Chiron, not a planet. I call it an asteroid. I've seen another great astrologer have another description of Chiron. Moved from Pisces to Aries. That was the whole Me Too movement versus taking it to the streets. So we started to get recharged energetically. The sun went into Aries, Chiron went into Aries. Shortly thereafter, Mercury did, then Venus. So everyone was starting to feel like, okay, things are moving. This is good. And then a few things happened along the way. First, Mercury went over Chiron, and it was like, okay, well, wait a minute. I thought I was done with that. And then Venus came along and went over Chiron again. So it's like, well, just in case you weren't paying attention over last weekend, when you had the little reminder, here comes the Scorpio moon at the same time. That's going to make you be a little overly sensitive, reactive, feel what's going on around you. So this is going on. And it dimmed it a little bit, that enthusiasm that you thought was finally here. And then this week, oh, okay, so then we've got the whole Pluto, Saturn through Capricorn and the nodes and everything that's going on, truly being life-changing at the core. This is an overview, so just so you get a sense of the energies that are going on. And then we've got the moon jumps in to go back over that things changing to the core. At the same time, Pluto, which represents existential crisis / transformation, if you work it correctly, goes retrograde. So Pluto's moving along in Capricorn, changing all that we know in the world politically by the time it's done in a few years. And then that's all being triggered by the nodes representing the future and the past and hinging on it. The moon's going over it. Pluto goes retrograde. So we've got this, there's this whole thing going on like this. It may be easier to look at the news and say, oh, this is happening in this, Notre Dame, the presidency, this person, that in the world, earthquakes, fires. You've got to take it in. It's inside of you. It's going to show up in your life in different ways. Small example, I just came from the bank, and same bank I've been going to for 20 years, depositing company checks. We have a business together, my husband and I. So I was making a deposit, which was of a fraction of what most of our deposits are there. And there was a hold because one check didn't look right, and they really took a lot of time, and they were scrutinizing them. They're scrutinizing me, and my initial reaction was annoyance. things are going to show up that trigger us. They do anyway in life. That's a real thing. It's part of our lifelong path to growth. The object of the game, if you will, is to become familiar with your own inclinations, the things that you react to, the things that are unique to you, rather than just react and do. To look at the things around you, the people that you're in relationship with. If you're not taking it to the next step as an observer, and then choosing how you're going to be part of everything that's going on, you're going to get caught up in it. You're going to have arguments. You're going to be angry at the system. You're going to look for reasons to blame. And there may be people running around acting unconsciously that are giving you really good reasons. But that's beside the point. The point is to be responsible for continually finding a way to anchor yourself, to being committed to growing through all of this. I'm going to look what's going on today in the planets. So the moon right now is at 24 degrees Capricorn. The moon just finished the going over Pluto retrograde, and where it was between Saturn and Pluto. And there's another interpretation that I personally just learned about in the last few weeks by reading Michael Luton about the moon being occulted, being between those signs and what it does and the things happening behind the scenes because of it. So behind the scenes in the world stage, behind the scenes in your life, in your deeper self, time to uncover what's within for all of us, and to find a way to express it in a way that will make a difference for the transition that the world is going through. It's an old, maybe worn out phrase, be the change. But that's it. Be the change. You have to be the change in your life first. For yourself. And in order to be that for the people around you, you've got to be it for yourself first. I'm glad the sun's in Taurus. I happen to like Taurus season quite a bit. This is a different Taurus season. Taurus generally represents stability, nature, things that bring comfort. This Taurus season is different. Uranus is in Taurus also. So this is bringing you Taurus with a zing. This is the era of the new improved Taurus. So everything's charged. Everything's different. And it's time to be responsible for seeing things differently and recognizing you're different. I'm going to leave you with that. It's a lot of information in one short video, but I hope in some ways it's helpful for you to understand the bigger picture. And I so appreciate you taking the time to be with me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.